What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video. And today we're wrapping up the 2022 Legion Sports Fest Men's Open Bodybuilding. We've got the results of the top 5 right here. Tonio Burton takes out, qualifies for the 2022 Mr Olympia, which I've got to say is awesome after he won the Indy Pro last year, went to the Olympia, placed 8th in the 212. So he was not one of those top guys in the 212 who qualifies, beats Justin Rodriguez, who's a top 10 finisher in the Mr Olympia. Now, Justin Rodriguez was not in that top 10 Olympia form at this show, but the fact that he beat Justin Rodriguez, he beat a very good Rashid Oldacre, maybe need to be a little bit more crisp to take out this title, but had he been next level hard, then I thought it'd be awesome. Here we go. Mitch, I wanted to give this guy a shout out quickly before we get right into it. I believe this guy actually left me a super chat, and I've been wanting to give him a shout out, and I missed that super chat. So shout out to Mitch. I mentioned him in plenty of videos. So man, thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate the love. And then another comment, SD Hug 858 says, "What's up, Xavier? Appreciate the quick turnaround for this bodybuilding show recap." My man, I've been watching and keeping a close eye on it. So Tonio Burton wins. Tonio Burton's future is high. I'll go through the rest of the results. Second was Justin Rodriguez. Obviously a favorite going into this show. Third was Rashid Oldacre, who wasn't even spoke about. You said that was me. Yeah. Thanks, bro. I love your work. Awesome. No worries, Mitch. Rashid, no one's talking about him because he was a relatively unknown dude sort of going into it. I'll go through some of these photos to see if there's any more coming up. And then James Spriggs also asked a question as well and says, at least Justin is now definitely qualified on points, right? Yeah, he'll definitely be qualified on points. We'll go to the point standing too. I do have them pulled up. I did intend to go into it on the last video I did, but I actually forgot about that because I had Lee Priest on last minute. So if you haven't seen that one, go back and check out that episode with Lee Priest. Blade _347 says, "Congratulations, Tonio. All the to the O." Close, but not a sentence. I do that stuff all the time. But anyway, let's go through a few of these photos. Also, as well, I want to mention Stan Delonge, Stanimal, who appears on the podcast, Bodybuilding University, and a few other ones. He finishes in 4th place, and Jamie Christian finishes in 5th. And he obviously was just on the channel recently as well. And Jay Cutler recently came out as well, and I wanted to do a video on this, but he said we want more diversity in the physique. So he was happy with Jamie getting that first call out, but he was in the first call out of 4 guys, and it seems like he slipped, and Stan made up some ground and placed top 4 in that show. So that's a big improvement for Stan Delonge because he hasn't been this good, and I don't think he's placed this high before in shows either. So I think that's a credit to his work for the fact that he's beating a guy like Jamie Christian, who's talked about potentially winning the show last weekend against Patrick Johnson. So that's a big one. But I think Jamie was probably a little bit better last weekend, just in my opinion. This is where we have some results from the other classes. We've got Classic Physique top 5. I'll quickly run over these guys. Jeff Hallenbeck wins that one. In the bikini top 5, you got Jordan Lee. Then you got Kyron Holden, who has a sick physique. This guy could be an awesome bodybuilder, actually. I think he's got half decent legs at least anyway. He's a top Olympian guy. And then we've got Wellness top 5. Amanda Burnett wins that one. She looks jacked. Look at that. That's some crazy shape. Her hair's like sort of half covering it, and the background's a little distracting. But then you got Women's Physique top 5. Yvonne Pennington wins that one. She looks next level. Danielle Chickles wins the fitness. And obviously we can't see the routine of that one, but let's get back to some of these. This is courtesy of Buys and Tries as well. We've got an awesome page over there. Supports the channel too. We'll go to Suliose, who does some great content on Instagram as well. You can see some more comparisons here, Tonio and Justin. And I think I saw a few more as well pop up. And I was like, okay, I'm giving Justin a bit more credit here because he looked a little bit closer to Tonio than first thought. So obviously this is from the right-hand side of the stage. You can't really judge it, but Justin obviously looks bigger there. Then you've got this shot here. I think just Justin looks a bit washed out, even though he's closer here and his legs look way bigger. And on the other side, Tonio's legs look way bigger. I think he just looks overall washed out a little bit, especially through his midsection. He needs to pose it differently, I think. Or I don't know, do something where his midsection doesn't look as big here because he's sort of pulling up, but still got that sort of arch to his back. So I think something needs to change there a little bit. then that pose there, you can see obviously great hanging hamstring on Justin, but you look at this upper body and then you compare it here. And I saw another shot too where it looks a little bit more evident where it's actually front on, but it's just not as crisp as this and as bubbly, I guess, as well. So from the legs, it looks a little closer, but I think when you see it from straight on, it looks a bit more evident that Tonio's winning this one. That one there, it's sort of the same shot. So here's, I believe, these Flex Online photos. So these are courtesy of the Flex Magazine Instagram page. We looked at these photos earlier, but you can see here, I think Tonio was just too good. Looked at these ones already, but the back shot is crazy. And I actually want to do a comparison video between Tonio Burton and James Hollingshead. There's some footage there, but I don't want to feature it. I got copyright struck for having that stuff. I've already had these photos up. See if there's any more. Here we go. Here's some closer up ones of the top two. You've got closer up. Anyway, I want to go to your comments actually quickly. Come back and see what you guys have to say about the contest. Here we go. This is from Ryan Ziolkolski. That's my best attempt. Tonio going to end up slightly more gnarly and rugged version of a Dexter Jackson. Dexter Jackson, yeah, I'd say it's that sort of a version, maybe not quite as pretty when he adds the necessary mass to be sort of that level of Dexter. But yeah, that sort of look, that sort of craziness to the muscle, that bubbliness. I think he's almost a cross between like a Tonio, not Tonio, he's Tonio, between a Michael Lockett and a Dexter Jackson. Michael Lockett just had that sort of, I remember someone talking, I can't remember what they called it, but they called it a certain type of muscle that just looks different. Jessen VVS says, morning, Xavier. It's afternoon here. It's 3:42 p.m., but morning to you wherever you are in the world. Yeah, it says, Eric G. Oh, yeah, definitely from the pre-judging to the finals. What do you say about that? Let's have a look. Just try to find all the comments. I feel like some of them are disappearing on me. People saying congrats to Tonio. Eric G says, Tony looks like a modern day Dexter Jackson. He isn't the biggest, but has very nice shape and good detail and conditioning. Absolutely right. 100%. So do we think Justin closed it down long enough to make an impact in the Mr. Olympia, or is he outside the top 10? Now, if I'm doing my predictions now, I'm saying Justin's outside the top 10, but is he ruled out from making a top 10? Definitely not. If Justin can bring it in, because you look at the structure of that front double bicep, if he can pull that midsection in a bit more, because I know George Farrow likes to feed guys up on carbs, and he was with Cement Factory, which is AJ Sims just before that. I thought AJ Sims did a fantastic job with Justin as well. But I think that maybe it's too much food. Maybe they're carving up too hard. I don't know what it is, but he needs to bring that midsection just in just a little bit, and then I think he'd be absolutely back to killing it if he can bring that conditioning in really, really tight. Because there's just something off. I don't know if he just overcarbed and spilled over or what it was. If I had to guess, maybe it would be that. Let's see a few more of you guys' comments. Ask me any questions if you guys want to as well. Jessen is from Denmark, and it's 6:45 a.m. Early morning. Trevor Usher says, same style of midsection as Dexter too. Yeah, that's one thing that really sticks out to me. Very similar sort of midsection. That's one thing I think Tonio, as long as he keeps that in check and keeps getting better, he's going to be insane. If he can improve his posing as well, I think he's got work to do in his posing. Mitch says, if Tonio can get better with lat width from the front, front double bi will be awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Because you look at that, and that's the only thing that needs improving. The only thing, literally. And yeah, just keeping that midsection tight, and the legs look crazy, so that helps obviously the pose. If he had small legs in that pose, it wouldn't be a good pose for him, but his legs are crazy. Oh, Mitch, 5:43 p.m. in New Zealand. It's cool people are tuning in from all around the world. I love that. My kids have Kiwi blood in them. So my kids are basically Kiwi. So that's cool. All right, let's go through these photos. And I've got some bodybuilding news after this as well. So make sure you guys stick around after the Legion. I've got some cool stories to discuss with you guys. But let's get back to these photos. Got the front lat spread there. You can just see there just how much is happening. You know what I mean? Like you see here, there's really no detail here through the abs. It's not going into a vacuum. It's just very washed out. The chest is up. You know, there's clear separation there where the chest is, but it's not. There's no lines or details seeming to go through it. Now, these aren't the best photos as well. I did see some other ones. I will try to hunt those down. But you see Tonio here. Look how wide those legs are, and they're filled out in here too now. The adductors, so they are big. They have some big ass legs, and I think they're only going to get bigger too with how much they've grown recently. The waist comes in tight here, really tight on that front lat, and then the lats just pop. There's just so much more happening. Shoulders, biceps, everything is I'd say it's a dominant pose. Side chest, and this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier. You can see front on, or this is close to front on, slightly advantaging Tonio. But you can see how much is happening in that upper body. Look at it. It looks like an action figure. Not many guys, if any guys, have muscle that bubbles sort of like that. And it's detailed too. So it's not shot up full of heaps of stuff. Like there is definitely detail on those, on that muscle. There's clear separation on the side legs. Justin's side leg is pretty good, but it's just not. This is the Dexter Jackson side leg, you know. Then you've got the back double bicep. This one, I did see it from a slightly different angle as well. And Justin, you can see he takes up more space. So it looks pretty even here in terms of space, but front exactly straight on, he definitely takes up more space than Tonio. But Tonio just has that roundness and that thickness of a muscle. It's pretty crazy. My glutes are much more developed too. Legs are just overall just a little bit harder. And yeah, you just look at the pose and you can just sort of tell through here. It's something pretty crazy to look at. And that lat spread, mind-blowing. Look at how crazy that is. Like, they have a rear delts pop. Like, everything is filled out and everything is hard too. All through his lats, you can see veins through them. And I imagine seeing that in person, it would be pretty crazy to look at. Side tricep, much improved from last year. He's posing it better. He just needs to make sure he keeps that midsection in, which he is much better here than he did last year. So shout out to Tony on improving that one. This one, I think he can work on his pose. Doing something different with his legs, and with his hips, maybe just dropping his butt back a little bit and pulling that lower abs in. I think that would look much better. And sort of the way Justin's doing it, he's sort of pulling it right back. And if Justin was posing like Tony there, he would look very, very bad on that pose. So he's doing the right thing there. So that one, I mean, the way he's posing it, I just can't deal with the way Tony is posing that one. But yeah, I'd say that's much closer, just based on the way he's posing it, literally. And this one, hands down, Tonio. You look at the craziness through that chest and shoulders and arms and then the legs and mental as well. Although Justin's legs were crazy big at this show as well. Someone said what happened to Justin's legs. I think they look just fine here. I don't know. That might just be me. But we'll see if there's any other updated photos here from Flex Magazine. Any winners photos or anything like that. I'm predicting there will be. Yep. Boom. All right. So you can see here, Tonio Burton winning, Justin Rodriguez, second place. We've got third place, Rashid Oldacre. Hopefully he's competing in a few more of these shows. We might see him go over to Prague and maybe take on Cruzo. Let me know who you think would win. Would Rashid Oldacre or Mikhail Cruzo win if they went head-to-head in 3 weeks' time? Because Rashid has room to improve too, as well as Cruzo. So that would be interesting. I want to see Jamie go over there too and take on Cruzo. I really want to see that. Who do you think, guys? Let me know who you think would win, because Jamie slips to 5th in this show, but he's pretty complete. I want to see Stanimal. I want to see Stanimal over there taking on Cruzo. Hopefully, all these guys that aren't qualified. Hopefully, we see Rashid, Jamie, and Stanimal all go over there. And I assume Ken Jackson here got 6th place because he's up there with the medals too. So that's cool. Shaun Clarida, I've got a story on him in this video as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that one. Cool. So I think everyone's going to be in agreement that Tonio Burton was probably the rightful winner. But I did see some other photos somewhere else where it did give a bit more of a sort of one up. Here we go. This is the photo I'm talking about. You can see here on the back double bicep. Now, this is probably slightly to the side, favoring Justin Rodriguez, but you can see it's much closer on that back double bicep than I sort of first thought. But I'd still probably have Tonio winning it just because it's just so. I mean, Justin is very impressive though, but I think in person you'd see the detail of Tonio Burton. Then the side chest up here, you can see that's where I'm telling you, like, this is to the side advantaging Justin, but you can see Tonio just looks so crazy there and so separated. So I think you have to say the right decision was made, and Tonio Burton wins the Legion Sports Fest. Congratulations to Tonio Burton. Good dude. And I'll actually go over the Olympia point standings now. I'll go back to your I'll go to the standings to start with. And these are not updated too. So James Hollingshead has obviously qualified by winning that Tsunami Pro. And then you've got Tonio, who's qualified now by winning that show. And then the point standings haven't updated. But I will sort of half update them for you guys as well and let you know if there's any guys up here that have got any points that pushes them up. So let's go to, I'll minimize my screen here so I can actually see what you guys are saying in the comments. If anyone's left a super chat as well, always let me know that too. Hanging life, take a shot when Xavier says, obviously. Yeah, I think I don't know. I think I've said it a lot. Sorry. Kiwi, so funny you call your neighbor that. I thought everyone called Kiwis. I don't know. New Zealanders then. New Zealanders aren't really that close, not like European countries. All right. Here we go. Sam Jessup, Tonio's legs will destroy him from behind. Can't believe he was 212. Tonio's legs destroy. I'd destroy Justin from behind. Yeah. The glutes and everything, definitely. There's just more hardness there, but he hasn't got the crazy like striped hamstrings like a Regan Grimes or anything like that, but he does have definite detail in him. Jamie in his video said that this is his last show for the season. Yeah, I think that was his last show for the season, but I would love to see him take on Cruzo. Here we go. Buys and tries. Shout out. No surprise there. Tonio's muscle bellies and midsection remind me of Dexter. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. People are making that comparison. So I want to actually do a comparison video of Tonio and Dexter, but I've got a few other ones to do too. People are saying who would win between, this wasn't in my comments, this was somewhere else, between James Hollingshead and Tonio Burton. So I'd like to do a side-by-side comparison of them, but it's just a matter of getting those straight-on photos of James. I've seen the ones over there that look really cool, those photos, but I haven't seen straight-on ones where I can make a fair comparison. I know there's video and stuff, but I don't want video of Tonio because I know the Legion do not like using their videos, so I don't want to risk anything there. But shout out Buys and Tries. I actually pulled up your results from that show as the first thing, so thank you so much. Cool. Let's go through the point standings and I'll discuss how they may have changed and I suppose, yeah, what's up with the point standings. And is Justin Rodriguez qualified for the 2022 Olympia? Let's get in. So I think there's 28 guys now qualified, I'm pretty sure. So there's 26 here, plus another 2 guys. Who's going to miss the Olympia out of this list? Shaun Clarida. Now, he might not be in it, and I've got a news story on that too. So stay tuned for that one. I don't think I actually pulled it up, but I'll be able to pull it up in 1 second. Regan Grimes, he's not in it. So you might have 2 guys there that are not doing it. So we're down to, what, 24 guys. Then we've got Angel Calderon Frias. He might do the 212. He might do the open. I think he's doing the 212s. So you take another guy out of it. So you're down to, what, 23 guys. And I think all the rest of the guys are doing it so far, at least planning to do it. So we're at 24 right now. Now, your 3 people qualify on points. Actually, no, there's 26. So we're add 2 more. So we're back at, what, 25, I guess, now on that list. Now, you got Andrea Muzi there. He's leading the point standings. Theo Laguerriere, he's on 28. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong too, guys. Justin Rodriguez. Now, this show, I'll go to the Olympia qualification rules for this year. You go down to which shows are sort of which. I'll zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see up a little bit closer. Let's make sure I'm sharing my screen too, actually. I'm not sure if I actually shared it again. I did share it. Cool. All right. Just wanted to make sure. So we've got tier 3 contests. You got here the Legion Sports Fest Pro. I don't believe any of these other ones. You got the Romania, which is coming up as well, which Brett Wilkin is competing in. Puerto Rico, EVS. We've got the Prague Pro as well. That's another sort of slightly higher points show. So for second place, which is what Justin Rodriguez got, he gets 6 points. So you go back to this one. Justin Rodriguez goes up to the top of the point standings. He's on 32 points. He can wrap it up now. I can't imagine. Maybe Muzi keeps competing. I think Theo's done. I don't know. Maybe he's waiting out to the Olympia thinking he is qualified. I don't believe Steve Kuklo is competing in anything else. Quentin Araya's not. Max Charles, maybe he is. He did that Arnold Classic UK. Tonio Burton is out of the point standings now because he has qualified, so there's no reason for him to be in there. Mir Omaragic, I don't know if he's doing anything else. You've got Martin Fitzwater, he's not doing anything else. Jonas Giatris, I don't think he's doing anything else. Kamalo Gagni, no. Tim Budesheim, I don't think. William Martins, yes, I believe is a show over in Brazil. You never know. Don't know who exactly is doing that. I believe Stan DeLonge is actually going over and doing that show in Brazil. And it actually falls on the 1 year anniversary of Sean Roden's passing too. So he said that might be a sort of a sign that that's the show for him to do. And I believe Stan DeLonge would beat William Martins as well, physique-wise. Mark Hector, I don't know if he's done for the season. He might jump in some of these shows. He could affect the point standings, but after that, I don't think we're seeing any guys, but we'll just all of a sudden jump up. James Hollingshead is out of the point standings because he won this weekend as well. And you got Muhammad El Imam, who would have to have a big turnaround and get a lot of seconds to make any sort of impact. But Baruz Tabani, now he's doing that Romania Pro. I don't know if he's doing any other shows beforehand. He might be. I think he could be, but I'm not sure. He could affect it possibly. He's on 5 points there. I think you'd need probably second at every show left of the year to make an impact on that point standing. So a lot of great guys qualified for this 2022 Mr. Olympia. But I wanted to update you guys on that and let you know, I suppose, how this point standings is affected. William Martins as well will have more points in this. Actually, no, I don't know where he placed exactly at that show. I don't think he's actually even in the top 5. So no, he won't have more points than that. So yeah, let me know what you think and who you think will qualify on points for the 2022 Olympia. If I'm a betting man now, I'm going to say it's Theo, Andrea, and then Justin. I mean, I don't think that's going to change unless one of these other guys comes up and gets a bunch of seconds, like William Martins, but can't see it happening personally. Now, let's move on to a few bodybuilding news stories. So first one here. And also let me know your opinions because I'm going to go back to them as well. But it says my personal training rate is 150K a sesh. This is from TMZ, Benefit School Charity. This is actually a pretty cool story. It says Arnold Schwarzenegger may be the most expensive personal trainer in the land because Sunday he worked out 2 crews that each plucked down, which is a weird terminology, 150K for an incredible cause. Arnold was at Gold's Gym Venice, which he made world famous and made good on charity auction at his home on Saturday night. But it says, goes on to talk about a few other things with it. Basically, this Morris Flackbaum guy and his family donated 150K to charity for basically getting a session with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is pretty cool. I think it's just a really cool way to donate money. And it's a really cool thing for Arnold to do as well. But he says the charity After School Stars is fantastic. Arnold created it 30 years ago to benefit school kids around the country. It provides after-school programs and exercise for 100,000 kids in 60 cities. So I think this is like a next level awesome charity. It says this time folks donated around 5.2 million, of which 1.75 million came from the auction at Arnold's house. Addition to a training session, Arnold auctioned off clothes, humidors, art, and a ride in his tank. So I actually know Tony Doherty, and he's actually ridden in Arnold's tank because he's obviously part of that Arnold crew. So it gets paid 50K a head to attend the event. Sylvester Stallone, Danny DeVito, Dolph Lundgren, along with co-stars of Arnold's new Netflix show Fuba, all showed. So yeah, pretty cool charity. So I'll find the link for that and I'll try to remember to post that in the comments below. But yeah, 150K for a training session with Arnold. I wonder how many people around the world would actually just pay that just for the privilege to be trained by Arnold. It'd be a pretty epic story. Now, next one, we've got a physique update from Brett Wilkin. 5 weeks out of a Romania show, here he is. You can see details are starting to come through in that side leg. The separation between the hammy and the quad and everything is coming through. The abs are popping now. And you can see the striations in the pecs coming through. And Brett's got a funny physique because when I first look at him here, you see the side leg and you go, he's not super crisp, but you can sort of see it below there. So I think there's a little bit of water still on his physique. And I think when he gets really lean, that's when the muscle looks round and gets these deep striations because he has those deep striations in the muscle, which is lacking a lot in bodybuilding these days. So I think if he can bring that out on stage and gets really, really hard, gets hard like his last show, he does say that he's actually going to be harder. Someone said, you're going to be more conditioned than Chicago. And he said, yes, or something. I'll have a look. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. He actually makes us work to go through these to actually find his other physique updates. Well, let's have a look. This is interesting. His top 6 predictions for the Olympia this year. He does not include himself, but Nick Walker, Hunter Labrada, Hardy Chupin, William Bonac, Big Ramy, and Brandon Curry. That would be an impressive top 6. And you're missing out so many good guys too. It's crazy. Brett has some content coming out on his YouTube channel as well. Here it is. Are you going to bring better condition than Chicago? Yes, full stop. And there's one more physique update as well. Front lat spread, not the best angle, but you can see his medialis are crazy. Pretty impressive. It says haven't been as focused on size and constantly refeeding. Digestion and condition has been the driving force, and I feel great with how it's going. Sorry, I can hardly see it behind the little message that pops up there. And yeah, crazy impressive there from Brett Wilkin. Now, let's go through some of these pages. I know I've got a bit more bodybuilding news. One of them I actually wanted to go to was, I'll look this up with you guys. It's from the Mr. Olympia page. Something that came up today and about Shaun Clarida versus Kamal El Gagni. Now, I don't believe in Mr. Olympia would make this poster without information that Shaun Clarida is doing the 212 at the 2022 Olympia. Let me know what you think, because Eduardo Correa here, you can see he's got the little eyes. He's actually hoping to qualify for the Olympia in the 212 this year. I'm trying to look through the comments, see if anyone's saying, does this mean Clarida is doing the 212? Can't see anything, but let me know what you think. Is Shaun Clarida doing the 212 at the Olympia this year? Doesn't matter. He's going to be coming in as big as he can anyway, I assume. So let me know your thoughts on that. And let's I actually had a few more updates I want to give as well. Actually, I do have one story, and it's about Jay Cutler and his thoughts on Mikhail Cruzo. Initially, Jay was impressed with Mikhail, but seems like he's sort of changed his opinion a little bit. And this was on Fuad Abiad's podcast. The link to that is in the description below as well. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let me just check that I'm still sharing this. Yes, you guys can. So Tonio Burton won. Let me put this up at the bottom of the screen. There we go. All right, so now we're going to listen to Jay Cutler and his comments on Mikhail Cruzo.
Sure, yeah. What do you, Jay, what do you think about some of the newcomers like Cruzo? Cruzo just got his pro card yesterday.
Yes, I saw him. I'm one of the few that's seen him pose in person. Was I impressed? Not so much. I still see a lot of holes in his body. I don't know, what show is he going to do can he even win and qualify to be in the Olympia? I don't know what shows that. I was just told that yesterday there was a show in Baltimore or something. I thought we were done with the US shows, but
I don't think there's any pro shows in Baltimore, but I could be wrong on that. Maybe something's been added, but it's interesting to hear Jay's opinion on Mikhail Cruzo. I'll bring up some photos of Cruzo as well, just so we can have something to look at while I'm talking about him, because when what he's talking about is basically, I'd say, that's Chris Geffen. That's not Cruzo. Mikhail Cruzo. Here we go. So we'll find some photos of him on stage, or maybe some footage if we're lucky. Going through it. Let's just find some photos. So when you look at this pose, this one's pretty complete because it really doesn't show up any sort of weaknesses too much. Maybe he could use a little bit more leg from the front. Maybe he could bring his lats out a little bit more from the front. We can't see that one front on. Yeah, we're not seeing too much there. Let's have a look. I don't know if we see much in this video either. But I'd say as well, the ab development, it's a thing that's not talked about too much, but like we saw with Tonio Burton, when he goes into that front lat spread, his abs pop. You can see so much happening. When Krizo does it, when Justin Rodriguez does it, when a few other guys do it, you don't see as much happening with the midsection, and you don't see that pop, and sometimes you don't even know why the pose looks so good, but sometimes it's because of that. Now, Mikhail Cruzo, I think, even in the last recent weeks, I think his back's thickened up and looks better, but will it be enough to win a pro show? I'm going to do some comparisons with Mikhail Cruzo and a few other guys in a few videos, and I want to get your guys' opinion on that as well. But yeah, he wins his pro card. He will be doing that Prague Pro. And let me know in the comments, do you know anyone else that's doing that Prague Pro that we don't know about as yet? Luke P says, Krizo midsection, it's awful. Who won? Tonio Burton won. He took out the show. Shala says, Krizo has no reason to peak in an amateur show. He knew he was going to win. Lights out. Fair, fair. All right, let's go to a few shout outs before I wrap up this video, because I appreciate you guys, and a few of you guys have been competing of late. So first shout out to Matt Norman. Won his contest here, won like the biggest trophy of all time. It's like a sword going into a trophy. That's enormous. But he looks really, really good. Shout out to you, Matt. Now, this is another one. This one's crazy. James Alabaster says, Supernaturals British Junior Champion 2022. This guy just won. Look how crazy his physique is. Let's go that one there. And check this out. So he's a 22-year-old natural bodybuilder. So I feel like someone's going to do a natty or not on this guy eventually. And also Jack Thornburn. He said, James said that Jack also listens to the channel as well and is a fan. So shout out to you, Jack, as well. And apparently you won your contest as well. So shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for watching the channel. It's much appreciated. I almost quit my screen then, which I would have cut myself off from this stream. So I'm glad I didn't do that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this live. If you guys appreciate this content, oh, sorry, I just saw Buys and Tries commenting it. If you guys appreciate this content, please give the video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you won't miss out on any of this content, all my lives and all my contest coverage coming into the 2022 Mr. Olympia. And let me know, did you have Tonio Burton winning this show? Did you agree with Justin Rodriguez being second, or would you have had Rashid Oldacre, Stanimal, maybe even Jamie Christian placing higher in this one? Let me know your thoughts on that as well. So that's it for me, guys. If you enjoyed this, like I said, show some love, share this out on Instagram, all that good stuff. So that's it for me. For Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.